Okay, let's talk about one of the most important skills you can have in your career, and that's building really powerful professional relationships. And I'm not just talking about being friendly at work. We're gonna dive into a blueprint for creating real synergy, the kind that transforms a bunch of individuals into a truly high-performing team. So, let's get into it.
So, what is it? What's the real secret sauce behind those teams that just click? The ones that are incredibly successful? You might think it's just about having the most talented people in the room. But what we're gonna see is that the answer is actually much, much deeper. It really comes down to the quality of the relationships between those people.
And that brings us right to the first part of our blueprint. You know, just like you wouldn't build a house on a shaky base, you can't build a strong team without a solid foundation. Everything starts right here, with laying the groundwork for healthy, professional relationships.
So what is this foundation made of? Well, it really boils down to 3 core pillars. First up, you've got trust, that basic gut-level feeling that your colleagues have your back. Then there's respect, and this is key. It's about really valuing that people have different opinions and backgrounds. And finally, empathy, which is so important that we're gonna give it its own slide.
Yeah, let's zoom in on this one, because honestly, empathy is often the most powerful tool in the shed. Empathy is not about agreeing with everybody all the time. It's about taking a breath and genuinely trying to understand their point of view. It's kind of like the super glue that holds trust and respect together, especially when things get a little tense.
All right, so with that solid foundation of trust, respect, and empathy in place, what's the next step? Well, now we can start building the framework. And that leads us straight into our second section, mastering the art of effective communication.
And you know, what's really interesting here is that great communication isn't just about being a good listener. It actually starts with you, with being able to clearly and respectfully express your own ideas. When you can do that, you stop misunderstandings before they even have a chance to start, which just reinforces that foundation of trust we just built.
Of course, let's be real, even with the best communication on the planet, disagreements are going to happen. They just are. And that's why Section 3 is absolutely critical. We're going to talk about reframing conflict, not as some big problem, but as an opportunity. A chance to find even better solutions and make relationships stronger, but only if you handle it the right way.
We have to get this distinction right, because it's a huge one. Destructive conflict, that's when it gets personal. It becomes about winning the argument and it just tears teams apart. But constructive conflict, that's totally different. It focuses on the issue, never the person. The whole goal isn't to win, it's to find a solution together that actually makes the whole team stronger. So, how do we actually do this in the real world? Well, it's a pretty simple but really powerful 3-step process. First, you state your view clearly and respectfully. Hey, that's our communication skill from Section 2. Second, and this is so important, you listen to understand what the other person is saying, not just to cook up your reply. That's empathy in action. And only then, once all the cards are on the table, can you actually work together to find a solution that works for everyone.
And this is where it all comes together. This is the payoff. This brings us to the final part of our blueprint. Because once you have that solid foundation and that strong communication framework, you can achieve true cooperation and get that synergy you need to hit your shared goals. And this, right here, is the ultimate goal. It stops being about what I'm doing or what you're doing. It becomes about one team, laser-focused on one goal, all driving toward one shared success. That's real synergy, where what the team can do together is way, way bigger than what all the individuals could do on their own.
So here's the bottom line. The incredible teamwork you see in those high-performing groups, it does not happen by accident. It's the direct result of people deliberately building a foundation of trust, mastering clear communication, and learning how to turn conflict into something constructive. Every single piece builds on the one before it.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. This blueprint isn't just theory, right? It's a practical guide. So really think about it. Based on everything we just talked about, what's one small, simple thing you can actually do tomorrow to start strengthening the foundation of your own team?